My name is Sarah Butler, and I'm a graduate student at Grand Canyon University, currently studying curriculum and instruction. The purpose of this recording is twofold: to talk about the ways in which the human brain learns to read, and subsequently to examine the reading curriculum which our school district has adopted and discuss how the curriculum meets or does not meet the ways in which we know the human brain learns to read. In David Sousa's 5th edition of How the Brain Learns, he talks about the 3 neural systems which are responsible for the brain learning to read, those being visual processing, audio processing, and then those 2 systems working together within the frontal lobe to provide meaning to the words that the student is reading on the page. Sousa goes on to state that there are 5 skills which are critical for students to possess in order to be able to learn to read. The first being phonemic awareness, just that a child can distinguish sounds within a words. Secondly, that the child has a firm grasp on phonics. Thirdly, that they have vocabulary acquisition, which is something that continues throughout our entire lives. Fourthly, that they have fluency, which lends well to the last skill, which is text comprehension. The curriculum that my school district has adopted, which we are actually moving away from next year, is Scott Forsman's Reading Street, which was published by Pearson back in 2007. I am familiar with this curriculum because not only does the school district I'm in now have it, but the school district I came from had it as well. Although it does seem to check nearly all of the boxes within the skills that Sousa declares to be important for a student to be able to read, there are a few things that are left to be wanted by this curriculum. As far as the phonological or phonemic awareness, there is an audio component which goes along with the basal reader that has an audio read aloud. There is also spelling lists that go with every story which address some sort of phonics rules, such as maybe OU and OW make the ow sound, so all of the words would possess that spelling rule. It does have vocabulary which goes along with each story that is developmentally appropriate. Now, the one thing that I did find was very lacking was the fluency piece. There's no reading record of any sort. There are a few reader's theater type stories throughout the basal readers which can be used to address that fluency piece. However, that's just a few stories within the grand scheme of things. And it does address text comprehension, in that there are reader's response questions that go with every story, and there are also pen and paper tests which allow the student to demonstrate that they are comprehending what they are reading. The 2 areas that I feel as an educator that I've really had to beef up a lot are the vocabulary and the text comprehension. In a study done at Brown University in 2013, they found that language acquisition is not solely within the left hemisphere of the brain, but it instead relies on multiple regions of the brain, which is where, as a teacher, I've had to get creative and do PowerPoints with the vocabulary, do a lot of think, pair, share, using the vocabulary words in context in sentences that the students come up with themselves and then sharing them out with the class. I truthfully have not done a wonderful job of coming up with a way that is meaningful to the kids to make sure that they are comprehending what they are reading besides that pencil and paper test. We do discuss the stories in small group settings. However, I do feel that there has got to be a better way to address that comprehension piece where multiple regions of the brain are being used. Jandy Jepson, Judith Myers-Walls, and Dee Love state in their brain development article posted on Purdue University's website that the first 10 years of life are a critical period for children to learn. And so that just makes our job as reading teachers within this time period even more important than we already know it is. So as an educator, I will continue to strive to fill in any gaps that I see using my knowledge of how the brain learns to read. Thank you for listening.